It's the Best of the Beach, a team competition featuring, for the Chicago Bears, Jim Thornton, Tom Thayer, Neil Anderson, Sean Gale, and Mike Tomczak. For the Miami Dolphins, Jeff Dellenbach, Jeff Cross, Jim Jensen, Louis Oliver, and Mark Clayton. The Philadelphia Eagles and Clyde Simmons, Jerome Brown, Seth Joyner, Chris Carter, and Don McPherson. The New York Giants, Eric Dorsey, Mark Ingram, John Elliott, and Steve DiOssi. And the Los Angeles Rams with Kevin Green, Irv Pankey, Buford McGee, Mike Lansford, and Henry Ellard. We've assembled some of the NFL's top talent to this shore in northern Jamaica at a resort known as Jamaica, Jamaica, just a short drive from Montego Bay. Hello, everyone. I'm Jimmy Cephalo, along with Kim Alexis. And Kim, while these football players are very good at their own sport, it still remains to be seen just how well they'll do in events they're not used to.
That's right, but I've been scouting them out, and I went into the weight room, and these guys are very strong, but what they're going to have to do is contend with the sand, which is something they're really not used to, and they have to play as a team. So it should be interesting to see, and they're going to have to prove themselves to be the best of the beach.
The athletes will be competing in 7 events: the endurance race, tennis, golf, beach basketball, strength contest, volleyball, the tug of war, and just for fun, a pose down and slam dunk competition.
The points will be awarded 50 for first and down to 10 for last place.
The third member of our broadcast team, Steve Baskerville, is with the captains.
As you look at this picture, I'm sure glad it's not these 3 against us 3, because I'd be in trouble. I'm going to start over here with Mark Ingram, the Giants. Is it going to take the speed, the agility of the guys who are a little bit smaller?
Well, in this particular event, it will take the guys with the speed and the agility. But yeah, I got some other events coming up that the big guys are going to control it, and we're just going to try to do our best.
All right, now look, Seth, you told me something about quarterbacks a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I just said quarterbacks are generally the slowest guys on your team. We got a quarterback on our team, but I think we got one of the faster ones, and I think speed's going to play a vital role in the whole competition. So we'll be prepared.
You're going to be ready.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the man right here. The size. It's got to be the size, right? Irv Pankey, the Rams.
I think size is going to play a major role later on in the competition, but right now the smaller guys do better out here in the water and getting across these old tires because, you know, that's kind of obsolete event we got here, you know.
Somebody big's going to have to be ready to pull that boat, right?
Yeah, I can yank them out of the water pretty good, I think.
Hey, Jim, Dolphins, water in the bag.
To our advantage, for sure. You know, we have our fins on, and we're ready to go. You know, we're not going to rely on speed. We're going to rely on versatility.
But there's somebody here that's done this before, and maybe that has something to do with it, right?
That's right, and strategy. You got to know how to get you the course the easiest and fastest way, and there's a lot of different ways to do it than the obvious. So hopefully we're going to be able to do it and do it first every time.
So Tom Thayer says the Bears are ready. As they say here in Jamaica, no problem, right?
Chris Carter has time for just one more autograph before the competition begins.
Best of the Beach, sponsored in part by your Toyota dealer and Toyota's quality line of 1990 cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Pepsi. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
And normal.
Coming up, the Chris is saying that. You know, so we have. They need to put us like further out that way. Y'all got the better sand.
The next step, you need to go there or you in the water, so
You guys got the better sand.
Well, while the athletes discuss who has the better sand, let's take a look at the course. It's a 40-yard sprint to the tires. After negotiating those, it's into the big inner tubes, where the athletes will have to backstroke out to that flag and back around. Then it's back through the tires and a quick sprint to the finish. The first event of the competition might be the most difficult of all because it involves skill and endurance as well.
But it also involves going out there in the water. These guys aren't used to it. They're going to use some new muscles. They've got the current. They've got the wind to fight with.
Yeah, there's a backstroke. They never prepare for that on a football field.
Right, so we'll see. It should be funny.
Yeah, and what about the tires? Now, they're used to doing this.
Right, but there are penalties. If they miss a tire, that's a 2-second penalty that they add onto the score.
All right, there are 50 points on the line when we begin heat number 1. And in that first heat, it'll be the Miami Dolphins versus the Philadelphia Eagles. For the Eagles, Don McPherson starts it off, followed by Seth Joyner and then Chris Carter. And for the Dolphins, Mark Clayton, Jim Jensen, and Louis Oliver brings up the rear.
Players, on your mark. Get set. Go.
Don McPherson is on the inside, closest to the water, and Clayton on the outside. Quickly through the tires for both athletes.
And now the big guys are helping them out into the water here and making that transition, and now they're swimming.
You're a good swimmer. Is this much tougher? They're going against the current here, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're going against the current and the waves and the wind, and they're also not used to doing this.
What's McPherson doing? He's a little crooked.
I think that he's crooked. He can't see.
Clayton's doing pretty well. He seems to be further in the water with his shoulders.
Right. He seems to be leaning back farther, and it gives him more paddling leverage.
Come on, Matt.
That is a cheerleader.
A big cheerleader. Clayton is the first to the flag.
Trying to get around. Wow.
A little bit of a traffic jam, but McPherson did pretty well to make up a lot of time. He was so crooked, but he got to the flag at about the same time.
Right. Maybe the waves helped him.
Well, they'll certainly help him on the way back in now.
Here they go. Pretty water.
It's beautiful. The water is very clear here, and I think the guys are enjoying themselves, even though this really is a part of the event that they're not used to. All of this water work, those arms are not used to pushing against the water.
Come on, get out! Get out! Come on!
McPherson, the first out of the water. He has to negotiate the tires and then a quick sprint back to the finish line. But here comes Clayton.
Now, Jimmy, you know that McPherson was born in Jamaica. He was born in Kingston.
No wonder he did well in this event. He finishes first. They make the tag. Now it's Seth Joyner for the Eagles on the inside and Jim Jensen for the Dolphins on the outside.
Having a hard time with those tires there.
And that's an event that they're used to.
I
The
know.
tires have been a part of training for football since the inception of the sport.
These guys look like ducks out of water, and they're in the water.
Jim Jensen, a quarterback from Boston University, converted to wide receiver and running back by the Dolphins. And Seth Joyner for the Eagles out of Texas El Paso, fifth-year player, linebacker.
Now, offense and defense, that really makes them natural enemies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Get around that flag.
Well, a little bit of pushing. You were right about the natural enemy idea.
Now he's mad. Now let's find out what Don McPherson thinks of this event.
It was tough.
Football easier?
Definitely. Definitely we have shoes on, there's no sand. There's no water. If it is, it's only hitting you on the head. You can deal with it, it's not on your butt. Other than that, it was lovely. Good job. Thanks.
Jim Jensen makes up the time for the Dolphins. He's first to the tires and through. And he will give Miami a 5 or 6 second head start. Louis Oliver starts for the Dolphins on the outside, and on the inside, that's Chris Carter for the Eagles.
Oh, that's tough.
How'd it go?
Good helpers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're great. They put the big guys down there so they could handle them in the water.
Oh, I thought that was just to lift that heavy inner tube.
It's also because they're the slowest ones of the bunch, so they had to give them some kind of a job. What did Dolphin captain Jim Jensen think of the course?
You know, I caught up some ground, but the key is that water out there going against the waves.
Louis Oliver, a second-year player from the University of Florida, one of the hardest-hitting free safeties in pro football today.
He seems to be having a little bit of trouble in the water trying to get around the flag.
But he's leaning far into it.
Yes. There's a little traffic jam.
Just a bit.
Leave the flag there.
Well, the last player, please take the flag with him. Chris Carter, a wide receiver out of Ohio State University. Great leaping ability, good quickness.
And great at backstroke.
Well, backstroke he has to work on just a little bit. Right now, it's Louis Oliver with the lead. Remember, the Dolphins and Eagles aren't just competing against each other. They're competing against all the teams because heat number 2 is coming up in just a few moments. The winner of this event will be the overall best time. Right now, it's Lewis Oliver first out of the water. He's negotiating the tires, and the Dolphins will come up first in heat number 1.
Right, and the Dolphins don't have any penalties here, but Chris Carter has missed 3 tires, which gives him a 6-second penalty.
How was it?
Pretty good.
All right.
Here's a look at the times at heat number 1. Steve Baskerville standing by with the Dolphins.
Is it much more than you thought it would be out there?
Oh, yeah. Going against that water, you know, it's pretty tough going out because the waves are coming in. But once you get out there and turn around, it's pretty easy coming back.
Man, when we were looking at you, we were saying, Mark. He's struggling.
I was struggling. That current is rough out there. I think that's the most weights I've lifted all year, the last 2 or 3 years. It's rough out there.
The Eagles will catch their breath and wait for heat number 2.
Now, it hasn't been all work for the players in Jamaica. We're going to take a glimpse at a shopping spree in Ocho Rios.
Half the fun is getting there, I think.
Like big on my head, man. You guys got big bubble head, big watermelon. I got a little head like a little peach. Try this one. Something like that, you know. Come on. Look like the guy. Look like the guy on Fat Albert, you know. I believe a gobble, Fat Albert, but Albert.
Anglers, even though we're not in Hawaii, we're in Jamaica, man. I'm first, he's second, third, fourth. Anchor. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, maybe I drink up all the water in the harbor.
Just like in heat number 1, the big guy is relegated to holding the inner tubes at the water.
Those very heavy inner tubes, I might add.
Players, on your mark. Get set.
Whoops, Buford McGee in the middle, a little bit too quick. They'll give him a second shot at it.
Players, on your mark. Get set. Go.
Oh.
He was a little fast again, I think.
Did it again.
They'll penalize him 1 second for the false start.
Oh, look at
Mark Ingram missed about 3 or 4 tires. He'll be penalized for that.
And has a very good dive into the inner tube. Well, no, he doesn't. Get back in there.
This is going to be a bit tougher because in the first heat you had 2 people trying to get around that flag. Now you've got the problem of 3.
They had hard enough time with 2. They're having a hard time doing backstroke here also.
Ingram is the first to reach the flag, followed by McGee and Gale right behind.
Now what?
I hope y'all got that on camera. I want penalty seconds off that one. I hope you got that.
Ingram complaining that McGee grabbed his foot trying to get around the flag.
He was mad about it too. Mike Tomczak and Neil Anderson discussing strategy.
They'll be up next, but first it is Mark Ingram who's making his way to shore first.
Now look at these helpers. They're way out in the water. They seem to get farther and farther out.
Ingram makes his way to the tires. Remember, he missed a few of them on the way in, and he misses a few of them on the way back, too. It's Sean Gale, but it's Ingram who crosses first. A big lead right now for Eric Dorsey. Kevin Green of the Rams trying to make up time. And Mike Tomczak has his work cut out for him.
All right, he's got to catch up. Oops, Eric lost a shoe.
He also lost his lead. A great flying leap by Kevin Green.
That's right. Let's see if Mike Tomczak can catch up.
Again, it's Kevin Green who's leaning his shoulders back into the water. He's making up a lot of time.
Right.
Go down.
Remember, they're competing for the best overall time, and right now the time to beat for first place is 4:40. That was the Dolphins' time. Second place, the Eagles at 5 minutes and 3 seconds. And it's Kevin Green around the flag.
Look at Eric here. He and Tom Zach are really battling it out, and Eric is trying to do it one-handed and with one shoe.
Well, he's got that big arm. Maybe he can do it just with one.
With one arm.
He had the big lead coming into this. He had a good 10-second lead at the beginning of this
He's
portion.
not doing very well. Maybe it's the shoe.
Kevin Green with the backflip out of the inner tube.
He's really moving.
Yeah, he's done well for the Rams. He'll cross first, and Henry Ellard will take up the slack for Los Angeles.
I guess he gave his all.
That is Henry Ellard trying to make his way through the tires.
And I'm glad to see Eric finally got out of the water. It makes me feel better.
Especially with the huge lead he had to begin.
I know it.
Tom Zach coming through, and it'll be Neil Anderson for the Bears. Tom Zach did well. He moved Chicago into second place.
There are about 10-foot waves out there. A couple of barracudas.
You feel like linemen?
No, linemen are easy. I think I had less weight out there. Those barracudas and sharks killed me.
Good luck, man.
He also has a bit of an imagination, doesn't he?
That's right. Here's Steve Diassi, and he was supposed to be the anchor. He seems to be catching up just a little bit. Maybe Eric Dorsey was the anchor.
Yeah, he dragged them right down to the bottom of the ocean. This is a lot closer than I thought it would be. Henry Ellard having trouble getting back into shore.
Which is unusual. You would think that the waves would bring him in. The battle for second place in heat number 2 is between the Giants and the Bears. Henry Ellard is doing a good job for the Rams, but they will not catch the Miami Dolphins, the overall leaders right now. The question is, can the Rams catch the Eagles for second place? They have a lot of penalty points, it seems.
That's right. McGee missed a bunch of tires, and he also had a false start, so that will hurt them.
Right.
Steve Diassi is just having a good time, that's all. It'll be Neil Anderson who comes across in second place in this second heat, and Diassi pulls up the rear.
Anchor.
The anchor, you're right. This may be the best shot of the entire day. Kevin Green at the finish line.
It really shows how he feels there.
We got it.
And 3 men in a tub.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
With Ingram getting grabbed by McGee. And the anchor, Steve Diassi, floats to the bottom. Here's the results. The Dolphins win it with a time of 4:40. The Eagles held on to second. The Rams had a lot of penalty points. The Dolphins take the lead after the first event with 50 points.
While the Rams celebrate success in heat number 2, their captain, Irv Pankey, was a college teammate at Penn State with my partner, and they had a chance to do some catching up.
Irv, we played together in college, but I've been out of the game for a long time. You're still wearing pads. 11 seasons in the NFL. When are you going to quit?
When they kick me out. I'm going to shoot. I like to shoot for 14, get 4 more, and see how I feel after that. If I'm still healthy and still can be productive, maybe 15, just to see. But I don't want to be one of those, well, we think you should not come out to camp. I don't want to put myself in that position because I work too hard up to then. So I'll know when it's time.
You want to say goodbye to them before they say goodbye to you?
Pretty much. Yeah, you got to have something when you leave here.
Yeah. You now have twin baby boys.
Yeah, they were a year old on June 12th, and they're kicking the butt.
How does that change your perspective of playing football at all?
Yeah, it makes you want to play longer so they can have the things that I couldn't have when I was growing up, and also, have their bases covered while I'm playing, and I can take advantage of their health insurance and stuff too before I get out of the game. But I just want to know when I'm done playing, I don't have to worry about them. Everything is set for them, and they'll be able to go on in life and know they have something. But we're not going to tell them to have it until they get old enough to understand what it's about.
When we come back, we'll shift locations to the tennis center.
It's not really, darling, how you play, but it's how you look. And Lord Miles.
We're courtside at the Jamaica Resort. Warming up behind me, members of the New York Giants and Chicago Bears. They'll compete for 50 points in the finals. They won the round-robin qualifying tournament. Let's take a look at some of that action.
Just watch. Come watch. Come. Come, bring the comedy crew with you. Come, watch. This is going to be sad. Sean, who you playing? Who we playing, you guys? Let me tell you the secret. The secret is to make as much noise as you can. Play like Monica Seles. Groan and grunt a little bit. It might distract him. If not, play like Macaron. Just go over and beat somebody up. Come on. Who we playing? Who we playing?
Tom's there.
Hey, get on that side of the court.
Tom's there.
See this guy right here? See, we can intimidate him. He's a quarterback, you know what I mean? So he's shaking his boots ready. See Clyde? Clyde was beating him up back in November. He don't want any more. He don't want another part of Clyde. So we'll let Clyde go over there and intimidate a little bit. He'll be hitting the ball into the pool. Hey man, Clyde's really upset with you. Clyde's really upset with you.
During the tennis preliminaries, each squad had 2 doubles teams playing tiebreaker matches with the top 2 teams qualifying for the finals.
Hey man, can't help it. These jacks, I can't control them. Just a little out of hand. I gotta tone it down just a little bit. You go up, I'll go back.
McPherson didn't do as well as he thought he would.
Our chances? Yeah. I hope they're not the same as they were in the endurance race. That's last. I don't know, but it looks of Eric Dorsey and Jumbo Elliott on the court. If we don't beat those 2, we should cut our own legs off. Gosh, Lee. I think you should ask Mrs. Dorsey what she thinks of her son on the tennis court for the first time in his life.
Oh, he's really good at this.
He is?
He's very good at this. Yeah, he'll do fine.
I can't play tennis. I can't play golf. I can't paddle in the ocean. I can lift.
These are the highlights of the preliminary action. Lon Lendl has nothing to worry about. After the preliminaries, the Bears and Giants qualify for the finals. They'll compete for 50 points.
So this isn't the endurance run, right?
No, Steve DiAsi, this isn't the endurance run. This is the tennis final. The Bears leading 5-1. We're at deuce. Giants serving. And advantage Chicago.
No, I think it's starting moving.
You know, you can tell by watching them that even though they're not great tennis players,
They're great athletes.
they are tremendous athletes on the court.
Don't have a lot of form.
No, they certainly don't. Steve DiAsi elected not to go with the smash. It was the dink shot. We're back to deuce.
Doesn't he look like a Ninja Turtle or something?
Samurai tennis player. What do you think Jim Thornton's nickname is?
RoboCop.
RoboCop. He's built like one, that's for sure. Smash down the middle by Mark Ingram. Advantage New York.
Advantage Giants.
He looks like it's no big deal there.
Second service.
Oops.
And we're back to deuce. This is an interesting foursome on the court for the Giants. You've got wide receiver Mark Ingram and linebacker Steve DiAsi.
And for the Bears, we have Jim Thornton, who's a tight end, and Neil Anderson, who's a running back.
Net violation.
Anderson, the left-hander.
Advantage Bears.
Advantage to the Bears. Ingram keeps trying to put a little topspin on the ball, but he's just driving it into the net.
Right, straight into the net.
This is match point for Chicago. A nice play by DiAsi at the net. But that's game, set, and match to the Chicago Bears. They'll get their 50 points.
And here's Steve DiAsi being quite a gentleman.
You didn't expect him to hop over to that, did you?
No, I guess not.
It's too hot out here for that.
It is very hot.
Jim Thornton, third year out of Cal State Fullerton, proved himself quite a tennis player as well.
There goes Steve again.
The Bears hop up into the standings. They move into second place, but it's still the Dolphins on top with 80. The Bears in second, followed by the Eagles, Giants, and the Rams.
But, man, I think I could have been a John McEnroe, man, if y'all let me out there.
Yeah, we'd still be playing. Don't you think so? I do. If I'd have been out there, we'd still be playing. But next is the golf course, 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Part of the facilities here at Jamaica, Jamaica include the beautiful Runaway Bay Golf Club. For the golf competition here at the Best of the Beach, we've moved over to the club, and now each team will have 4 members playing a par 4, 365-yard 6th hole. The team's total score will determine the results. When the Bears' Tom Thayer stepped up to the tee shoeless, we should have realized this was not a PGA Tour.
We gotta make the people at home think I know what I'm doing, you know? All wrong club.
Has anyone seen Kevin Green?
He's got this good golf joke. There's a golfer, 2 seals. Oh, wait a minute, I can't.
Drop it out there.
Drop it within the 2 club.
Then, and here's the thing.
Okay, all right, okay. Stay up there, man. God dang it. Get out of there.
Stop ball, stop ball, stop ball, stop ball, please.
Pretty much what I wanted to do the first time. I think I overcompensated with a little drag on my left elbow, tucked my right elbow in a little bit too much, and basically hit one crappy shot. So much for the 7-iron theory.
With scores like these, they really didn't help their team's causes. McPherson with a 12, DeOssie a 7, and Green a 14.
Although the Miami Dolphins are the overall leaders, it is the Chicago Bears who will win this golf competition. They have a commanding lead, and they will move into first place. The real competition here, Kim, is for second and third place. Right. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles hold a 2-stroke lead over the Dolphins. Who do you like?
Well, I was watching Seth from the Eagles, and boy, he just hit a tee shot, a practice one. Too bad it wasn't the real thing, because that thing flew so far it went over the horizon.
Still going, huh?
That's right.
Right there. Oh, there it is. All right. Well, the Eagles then to pick by Kim Alexis.
That's right.
The pressure's on you as Jim Jensen steps to the tee, and he pushed it a bit right. Now here's your pick, Seth Joyner.
That's right. We'll see how well he does. He doesn't know that the pressure's on. He didn't know I picked him.
And you know your golf. That's the best tee shot of the day.
Thank you, Seth.
Jumbo Elliott steps up for the Giants. Four.
What did he hit?
He hit a golf cart. Everybody's okay, though, and there is his lie. Jim Thornton, nice enough, from the Chicago Bears, helping out Jumbo Elliott.
He needs some advice, I think.
After that golf shot, you're darn right he does. Jim Jensen in his second shot. He's on the back of the green. That'll put the pressure on Joyner.
No, I'm 110 to the middle.
Yeah, to the middle.
And a wedge. Huh?
Eagle.
Meanwhile, Jumbo Elliott is still trying to get out of the rough. I don't think I saw it come out of there.
I don't think I did either. One thing's for certain, it didn't go very far, and that is resident golf pro Paul Hunt from the Jamaica Golf School. is trying to help Jumbo out.
I don't think he's used to digging through leaves.
He'll be happy to get back to his golf lessons in Jamaica, Jamaica.
Hey, what do you say?
Got it up there?
They'll find it sooner or later. When all else fails, look in the hole. And Seth Joyner with his second shot, not very happy. Eureka!
There it is.
He drove it straight into the ground. He'll take his penalty drop.
Put this sucker in the hole.
I wouldn't want to be his ball.
He means business.
You have to miss how many shots before we lose?
And he hit it a little fat. He's over the green and into the fringe beyond.
Stop.
Remember the competition now between the Eagles and the Dolphins for second place in the golf competition, and more importantly, between Seth Joyner and Jim Jensen.
Right. Here we are again, back at the leaves.
All right, Jumbo. He can have dinner tonight. That's his 8th shot. And onto the green finally. He was about 20 yards off the green, and he used his putter. And it was a good move. He should have used his putter from the very beginning. Off the green and into the fringe.
She used the putter the whole time.
We got there.
Joyner's 4th shot. Not happy with it.
No, he's not happy at all.
Oh, well.
But if he can sink that, he'll go for bogey. Now here's the competition. Once again, Jensen with his 3rd shot.
Go, ball, go.
And it's a good one.
Right.
That sets up the possibility of par, and that would give the Dolphins second place in this competition.
Thank you. These are the toughest putts here.
That's all right.
I hope no gophers come around.
Caddyshack, it isn't. Joyner for bogey, and he's going to leave it short.
He still has a long way to go.
His teammates look concerned because Jim Jensen has got a good shot of putting this away for the Dolphins in second place. Joyner again.
Ooh.
Leaves it short.
Not happy.
Double bogey. Jensen could wrap up second place with the Dolphins with this.
That's Nerea, his wife, and she doesn't look very happy.
That's a gimme. Right?
Jensen wants the gimme from 10 feet. Jumbo Elliott, meanwhile, will take anything, 10 shots.
Yay!
All right, Jumbo.
Wow.
He can't buy a hole. That means if Jensen can sink this putt, and he does, the Dolphins take second place, the Eagles 3rd in the competition.
Excuse me. Winner's card. Get out of the way. Winner's card.
Hold on.
When RoboCop says move, you move, his Bears first place in the golf competition. Let's take a look at the overall standings after 3 events. The Bears and Dolphins tied at the top, followed by the Eagles, Giants, and the Rams. And Kim is standing by with Dolphin captain Jim Jensen.
Okay, so this is great. After the first 3 events, the Bears and the Dolphins are tied for first place. And you had a lot of pressure on you on your last putt here. How did you do that?
Well, I'm more or less used to pressure with the Dolphins. I usually go in on 3rd downs, and I'm kind of used to the pressure, and especially going against Seth, because we're more or less enemies, and I go against him on the field too. And even in the inner tube race, he tried to grab me, and he does that on the field too, and he missed again. So I think he's a little frustrated.
Do you have a personal vendetta now? You guys are going to be competing with each other?
Most of the other activities are group activities, so I think the main competition between the 2 of us is over.
I seem to remember this a little bit differently. Wasn't it Jim Jensen who pushed Seth Joyner away during the endurance race?
It looks like it.
It sure does. The replay never lies.
results of the basketball preliminaries. The Dolphins and the Eagles have qualified for the finals. And Jimmy is with the two captains.
Getting set for the finals, we have Captain Joyner here on my right, Captain Jensen here on my left. Last time we left the two of you, there seemed to be just a little bit of bad blood. Am I wrong?
No comment.
From this side?
I think, you know, the Eagles are real serious about this game, and, you know, I think they're taking it a little bit too serious. You know, we're supposed to be out here having fun, and, you know, they get all upset. So we're just going to beat them in this basketball game and take first place, sole possession.
Just to prove it?
Yeah, just to prove it.
Comment?
No comment.
No comment. All right, we're set for a nice friendly game between the Dolphins and the Eagles. Thank you, Captain Joyner, for those wonderful comments, and thank you, Captain Jensen.
Just a small bit of tension there between the two captains. Now what about the wives? We talked to them to see how they feel about the basketball finals.
We're going to win, and it's going to be mean and bloody. That's the game they're going to have to wash up over there and get rid of the blood.
They're just out to have fun and to win the game. Let's go. Let's stay on top.
Is there any tension going on right now?
A little bit.
Any tension with you ladies?
With us? I think there's more tension with us than there are with our guys. You bet. We're going to stick up for our guys the whole way. Number one.
The rules for beach basketball are a little bit different. The players must pass the ball 3 times before they shoot. Beside that, anything goes. Could be really interesting.
That's right.
The Dolphins get the 3 passes out of the way right at the beginning. That's Mark Clayton with the ball being covered by Don McPherson. There are 2 5-minute halves to be played between these teams in the finals. That pass out of bounds, Seth Joyner just couldn't get to it, and it goes back to the Dolphins. This is tough on the players' legs because of the sand.
Right. It really is soft sand. Gives them a good workout.
Seth Joyner bringing the ball up court for the Eagles. Wind is also blowing. It's going to be tough to hit the outside shot.
Does make a difference.
I'd hate to be an official out there today. The Eagle is not agreeing with the call that the ball will be turned over to the Dolphins. No score here in the first half. Remember, 2 5-minute halves to be played. 50 points at stake for the winners.
Looks so funny having him walk with the ball like that with no dribbling.
The sand is starting to take its toll on the players. They look a bit tired already. Clayton, the drive to the basket from the baseline, and it goes. He went to Louisville. Apparently he watched Denny Crumb's team play a little bit because that's a nice shot. Going back the other way, that's Chris Carter going to the hoop. Now they're starting to realize that it's going to be just too tough to hit from the outside.
More walking.
Watch the ball, guys.
Jensen sets the pick, and Clayton goes to the hoop. Blocked by Clyde Simmons. Clyde doesn't agree with the call. I want to know how these officials got picked for this assignment.
They're the brave ones.
Yo. We shoot the ball, right? We took out 3 shots.
Remember when we began this final, Jensen and Joyner were not very happy with one another, and they're covering each other.
They sure are. Now, doesn't Jensen have the nickname of Crash?
Yeah, they call him Crash because he came out of Boston University to the Dolphins as a quarterback, but played special teams by just crashing into people, and it stuck. From the outside, Lewis Halter hits.
Come on, that's deep. Come on, Louis D.
4-0, Miami on top of the Eagles. A little pushing on the outside. McPherson was fouled by Clayton.
Same thing we had down there last time. Hey, what else you gonna do,
McPherson, the runner-up to the Heisman Trophy a couple of years ago. Now playing with the Houston Oilers.
Thank you. I needed that.
Go!
Oliver from the outside again, but he's a bit short.
Yo!
That's Chris Carter yelling, yo, yo. He's the one with the hat on.
He didn't want to run so far.
And the foul once again. That's Chris Carter going to the hoop. He's fouled by Clayton.
I got it right here.
1 minute remaining.
1 minute left in the half. The Dolphins with a 4-0 lead.
We got a minute.
Seth Joyner, that's Jensen covering him.
That's right.
45.
Shot from the outside by McPherson. He wasn't watching Jim Boeheim's group at Syracuse, not with that kind of a shot. And as time ticks away at the end of the first half, the Dolphins try for the last shot.
Their wives really are coaching them, aren't they?
Yeah, they're rooting pretty hard. Another pick by Jensen,
Carter tries to steal it.
but Oliver gets it back. Clayton from the outside, he misses. Just a couple of seconds left. Dellenbach with the rebound. 3 seconds left. Clayton with the driving hook, and it goes. He beats the buzzer. And the Dolphins, that last second shot by Mark Clayton, take a 6-0 halftime lead. We'll be back with the second half right after we find out what Steve Baskerville has been up to.
You know what's great about doing a show in Jamaica, aside from all the scenery or all the things you learn about the culture of the people who live here, like these baskets, most of them created by people who make a living that way, people like Marlene. And I don't want to interrupt you too much, but I just want to know how you learn a craft like this. Your father, your mother, someone pass it on to you?
Well, it was really my aunt. I saw her doing it, and it arouses my interest. And then I go ahead and try and do it.
Well, you arouse my interest because you got birds and flowers and all types of designs and letters. Is it very difficult?
Well, not very. As long as you learn how to do it the proper way, it's not hard after.
How many of these would you do in one day?
Well, say about 3.
And Marlene probably has a couple hundred spread out all over this place. Now, a lot of people learn a craft like this, but you'd be surprised at how they learn it. Some quite differently. Let's take a look. You know, wood carving's another part of the Jamaican culture, like some of the work that Stanley's created. Stanley, can we take a look at what you're making here?
Sure you can, no problem.
What do we have here?
It's a cat, made from the mahogany root.
And it's heavy, too.
Yeah, it is. See, it's just a log of wood, but when I look into it, then I see a cat, and I take the cat out of the wood, and now you can see that it is a cat. It's no more a piece of wood.
Now, how many days will it take you to finish something like this?
Well, this will take me like 2 days to finish.
Well, I want to let you get back to work as we talk about it. Unlike Marlene, whose craft was a family tradition, Stanley learned carving from a book, the Encyclopedia Britannica to be exact. As you can see, Stanley has learned his craft well. You do good work.
Thank you.
And you know, Marlene's been working on something special for us. We'll see what it is when we come right back. Stanley made in here, and by the way, this is a present from Marlene. You know, this really does represent a little bit of what's good about Jamaica. It's like taking a piece of Jamaican beauty back home. You know, when you think about it, there's more than one way of looking at what's best of the beach.
Back for the second half of our basketball final between the Dolphins and the Eagles, with the Dolphins holding a commanding 6-0 lead. Louis Oliver jumping it up for the Dolphins, and Chris Carter for the Eagles. Oliver from the outside misses badly.
That must have been the wind, right?
Must have been. Clayton, though, picks it up off the sand and puts it in. 8-0 Dolphins, and Mark Clayton has now scored 6 points. Drive by Chris Carter, and the Eagles just can't buy a basket. Remember the rules of the game. You must pass the ball 3 times before shooting, 2 5-minute halves. And the winner will pick up 50 points in the overall competition.
Don't forget only blatant fouls.
Only blatant fouls. We've had a couple of those, too. The shot inside by Clayton. He misses a gimme. Seth Joyner brings it back up court. This is the first time I've heard of a shutout in basketball in the second half. A miss by Joyner. The Dolphins pick it back up.
Now you can really hear the wives yelling and screaming. They're really watching out for their guys. Nerea, who is Jim Jensen's wife, is an ex-Dolphin cheerleader, and they recently had a baby boy named Jake, born in March.
Jim Jensen's had quite a career with the Dolphins. No one gave him much of an opportunity, except for Don Shula when he first came out of Boston University. But he's been in the league quite a long time and has proven an important commodity for the Dolphins.
He's crashed his way through.
He sure has. Joyner with the rebound. Down court to McPherson. I should say down sand. And the layup. And he still misses.
Oops.
They missed the tip. Carter with the rebound.
Try again,
And
no good.
They just can't get a basket today. Timeout, Eagles.
I'm ready to tell somebody to come out here and take one after the game myself. Ridiculous.
All we gotta do is play together and pass the ball, man. More than just one. Is it more than just one person on the team?
The best of the beach basketball competition. The final action. The Dolphins on top of the Eagles by a score of 8-0. Mark Clayton has scored 6 of the 8 Dolphin points.
Now you would think that the Eagles would be doing a little bit better than this. They only had to play 1 game to get into the finals, where the Dolphins had to play 2 games to get into the finals.
It's a good point, and I think a lot of the pride is showing on both sides, because remember the bad blood that started this game off between Seth Joyner and Jim Jensen, and their wives have gotten into it a little bit.
It's contagious.
It sure is. There's Jensen on the outside. Drive to the basket by Oliver. And they'll call a jump ball. Joyner left the game at the timeout period.
There's Nerea Jensen.
Good, jump ball.
2 minutes remaining in the game. The Dolphins with an 8-0 lead. Jump ball between Jeff Cross of the Dolphins and Don McPherson of the Eagles. But it's the Eagles who control, and it's Chris Carter coming up court. McPherson, and a foul. Jim Jensen, and here it goes. It's only a matter of time. Chris Carter particularly upset with Jim Jensen.
And his wife, look at his wife, is right in the middle of it.
Let's take a look at the replay. Jensen with the left arm pushes McPherson, and he goes down fairly hard in the sand.
There's Crash.
You think about to make me shut up? I am playing, brother. You think so? You think so? You talk too much. Man, you better get on that side. That's what you better do. That's what you better do. Sit down. Play the game. Take the
There's an old movie called Blood in the Sand.
That was great, man. That was great. Come on.
There's the Eagles' wives.
All right, we're back to playing ball. Jim Jensen has been ejected from the game.
I wonder why.
You know, it doesn't matter what these athletes participate in. It could be tiddlywinks. They play with the same emotion they would on a Sunday afternoon in the NFL.
They're really aggressive.
And it's all forgotten as soon as the game is over.
Right.
And for most parts. The Dolphins slowing it up. Time's on their side. Less than 2 minutes to play, and they're up 8-0. They would add 50 points to their total and take over first place in the overall standings. Clayton from the outside doesn't go, but Oliver underneath, and he scores. Right now, all the points have been scored by Lewis Oliver and Mark Clayton. Clayton with 6, Oliver with 4. The Eagles got to be happy with just trying to score a point.
That basketball looks really small in his hands.
Jerome Brown to the hoop, and he scores. All right, Jerome. He had enough of the quarterbacks trying to handle the ball out front. Give it to that big lineman. The athletes flew from around the country to the island of Jamaica on Air Jamaica. After all, they know the island better than anybody else. Air Jamaica, the official airline of Best of the Beach. Remember, the final two teams, the teams with the two highest totals, will go to the tug of war, which will determine our champion here at the Best of the Beach. 30 seconds remaining in the game. 10-2, the Dolphins over the Eagles.
They look tired, don't they? Passing it back and forth.
They've talked as much as they've played. Jeff Dellenbach with a nice drive to the basket. 12-2 Miami.
5, 4, 3.
Time runs out on the Philadelphia Eagles. The final, Miami Dolphins 12 and the Philadelphia Eagles 2.
Their pride is hurt. Their pride is hurt bad enough as it is. We ain't even got to say nothing. Hey, Clay. We're not even gonna talk. You know what I mean? Not even gonna mention. Don't play that. Don't even mention. Don't even mention what happened. They pride is hurt enough.
Jeff Cross trying to play peacemaker. The Dolphins pick up the big points. They break the tie with the Bears and move in the first. And the Eagles are making a move too. It's Dolphins, Bears, Eagles after 4 events.
We've seen some great action so far, but coming up we have volleyball and the tug of war.
And it's almost time to crown our champion.
Right, but before that, let's get to the power event, their strength endurance tests.
Let's get started.
Okay.
After 4 events, the Dolphins have a slim lead over the Bears. The Eagles are 3rd, Giants 4th, and the Rams are 5th. Remember, first place is 50 points, 40 for 2nd, all the way down to 10 for 5th.
It's time for the strength competition, and the players will compete in pull-ups, dips, sit-ups, and bench press.
Sean Gale getting ready to take his turn at the pull-up bar for the Chicago Bears. Those wraps are used to help the players get a better grip.
Ready?
The winner of the strength competition will be the team that scores best in all 4 events added together. This is the normal part of a football player's training. Dips and chins and bench presses are something they're tested on every year.
And he is trying to beat Chris Carter's 20 pull-ups here.
There's 20 and 21. He takes the lead. Finishes off with 23. They give it to him. They didn't give him number 24, though. Sean Gale with a nice effort for the Chicago Bears.
Here are the pull-up results. Sean Gale had 23, and Jeff Cross was at the bottom with 11. And now here's Jimmy with the winner.
23 pull-ups. The Bears were relying on you because they told me they're not going to do well in the rest of the competition.
No, those guys are lying. You know, we selected the guys to come out here because of what they could do. The only reason he brought me was because I could do a couple of pull-ups.
23 pull-ups.
You know, I didn't think I could do that many, but when Chris Carter did, how many did 20? When he did 20.
And the Eagles offered him some refreshments if he did 20 or more. What'd you get from the Bears?
Nothing. All right, good. Happy to be here. Happy to be out in the sun.
Now here's a sight to behold. Jumbo Elliott doing the dips. I think he's more hip action than he is arm action.
Knees and hips there.
26 dips for big Jumbo John Elliott. Not a bad effort for the Giant. This came down to a battle of quarterbacks. So Don McPherson with a slim upper body, a strong one though, is pumping him out.
Come on, Johnny. Come on. I got a big set. Big all weight, don't you? Oh, yeah. Come on, Johnny. Get it, Johnny. Get it, Johnny. Now you going to roll, Johnny.
A total of 48 dips for Don McPherson, our current leader. Just one man left. That's his counterpart, a quarterback for the Chicago Bears by the name of Mike Thompson.
3, 4, 5, 6,
47, 48, 49.
And that's the lead for Tomczak.
They look effortless with him.
52 the total. Earlier, I had a chance to sit down with Chicago Bear quarterback Mike Tomczak.
I've heard a lot of hobbies of NFL players, fishermen and hunters, but I never saw a bio that said that the player collected teddy bears and jazz music. How did this all start?
I guess it started my rookie year. They did a bio on each player coming into the new team, and I had a couple teddy bears because I was going to Chicago, being from Chicago. They were gifts, and I just kind of monopolized on it. I said, I collect teddy bears and jazz music, and so when you get fan mail, you get teddy bears and jazz music. You know, you get it from Count Basie all the way up to Najee or Kenny G. So my collection has really blossomed over the years, and I know I'm going to have kids someday, and my nieces and nephews all get the teddy bears when I'm done with them.
Do you get more teddy bears after a win or after a loss?
Probably after a loss. All the sympathy teddy bears, yeah. I get all kinds, actually, from all over the country, so it's enjoyable. I have about 250 of them.
Guys give you a bad time?
When they come to my house, they see them all over the house and everything. And it's very feminine looking when a female comes over. Know that you have a little passive touch.
It's not a bad idea. I think we're onto something here. I like this.
Tomczak's total gives the Chicago Bears a commanding lead in the strength competition. Remember, Sean Gale won the pull-ups.
And now we're on to sit-ups, and this is Steve Diassi. Is that sunburn?
I think it's a lack of oxygen to the brain at this point.
He's using elbows. And now they only have 1 minute to do this.
As many as they can do in a minute. And Diassi did as many as he could do. 49 sit-ups.
Okay, now we're going to do another drill called stand up. That's not going to work as easy. 15 seconds, Lou.
Here's a sit-up machine. Lewis Oliver of the Miami Dolphins.
Go ahead, Lou.
7, 2, 3, 74, 5, 6, 7, 78, 79, 80.
Lewis Oliver. They counted out 80, but the judges will disallow 5 of those sit-ups. He still beats the rest of the competition with 75. So Oliver's the winner. Steve Diassi brings up the rear, but he gave it his best. Look at the overall standings in the strength competition. The Bears are in first place, and the Dolphins and Eagles tied for second.
Coming up next, the bench press with the big men and the big muscles.
It's funny because, you know, we had to drag Irv Pankey, the oldest member, not only of the Rams, but the oldest guy out here. We had to drag him out of bed just to come out here and participate in the weightlifting. And he really wasn't real excited about it until Kim Alexis walked up. And he straightened up, his shoulders went back and down. He said, maybe I'll get on that bench and rep out for you, baby.
Everyone's been waiting for you guys for the bench press. What do you think? The pressure's on. How are you going to do this?
First I'm going to watch all these young gentlemen over here and do all this heavy weight, and then I'm just going to slide on in there somewhere probably about midway. Now, we're out here to, attack this event like the other ones that we just didn't do too well at earlier and try to get some points on the board and not end up last like we are right now.
Now, what about Eric Dorsey? You don't have any strategies, any special things? You just...
I kind of hope he faints between here and the bench and I don't have to deal with him.
We moved the bar to 405 pounds.
And Eric Dorsey did not faint.
He did not faint on his way. All the competitors have already survived 315 pounds and 365. Eric Dorsey, 6'5" tall, 280 pounds, and 405 went up quite easily for him. A reminder, 50 points will be awarded to the bench press winner, 40 points for second, and so on, as Irv Pankey settles in. Those points will be added to the totals from the pull-ups, dips, and sit-ups. And remember, the Dolphins and Eagles are tied for second, with the Rams only 8 points behind. And Pankey, 32 years of age, makes 405 looks easy.
Did a pretty good job.
Pankey, a former heavyweight wrestler in college, was quite good at it. Jeff Dellenbach of the Dolphins is next at 405. And Dellenbach, no go. He's the first to drop out of the competition at 405. Now, if Clyde Simmons can make this lift, he will move the Eagles ahead of the Dolphins in the strength competition. And Simmons not able to put up 405.
So how do you feel?
Kind of winded, but you know, I'm proud of myself. I never attempted 405 before in my life.
Good effort anyway by Clyde Simmons. Jim Thornton, RoboCop of the Chicago Bears, the favorite in the competition. And your favorite, I think, too.
He was favored over Eric Dorsey?
Well, RoboCop's got some muscles on him.
I
know you
he
haven't
does.
noticed this yet, but he does have some muscles on him.
Couple.
Yeah, I'd say he's favorite. It looked like he was lifting 100 pounds. The nickname fits.
That's right.
The weight is being raised to 425 pounds. 3 competitors remain. Irv Pankey, Jim Thornton, and Eric Dorsey. Dorsey's in first.
He looked like he was praying.
Well, he's spent almost every waking moment here in Jamaica in the weight room. As soon as he got off the plane, he went right to the weight room. He loves it in there.
That's right. I saw him in there. He was just smiling away, doing set after set. No problem.
Not at all. Eric Dorsey is good at 4 1/4.
There's Eric's mom.
And Irv Pankey, at 32 years of age, the oldest in the competition, is making an attempt at 4 1/4. Not quite. Pankey drops out at 425.
What happened?
Tells you the state of athletics when 32 can be described as being old.
Now, Jim Thornton went to college as a quarterback, and then he started lifting weights, and he moved to a tight end position. Sort of interesting.
Yeah, he lifted himself right out of the glamour spot.
He's in the glamour limelight now.
Thornton gets 4 1/4 up easily. Just 2 men remaining in the competition. Will raise the bar again. It's Thornton and Dorsey.
You're on 435, right? Okay.
The bar is being raised to 435 pounds now for our final 2 competitors.
Wow.
Eric Dorsey of the New York Giants and Jim RoboCop Thornton of the Chicago Bears.
425, 435. 435.
Dorsey, a #1 draft choice of the Giants out of Notre Dame in 1986.
And RoboCop is pacing here. He really doesn't want to watch Eric, does he?
No, there's a real psychology to weightlifting. The team sport that they both play in, this is a different psyche. They want to be by themselves and concentrate on nothing but the bar. That's who they're competing against, the weight.
Right.
Not each other.
Gravity.
That's true.
to.
And he gets it.
Wow.
Dorsey with a good lift at 435 pounds.
Still not watching. He's pacing.
He probably doesn't even know that the lift occurred. He's not thinking about it. Let's take a look at the replay. The question is, did Jumbo Elliott, who's spotting, did he touch the bar?
Right. But does it really matter when you have 435 pounds?
Probably not. And safety is the #1 item when
Right.
you consider it. Better to be safe than be injured in an event like this.
It was done out of love.
For a teammate, that's true. The lift is good, 435 pounds for Eric Dorsey.
They're all watching my butt. What do they know? Smooth.
435.
1, 2, 3. Come on, Robo. Come on, Robo. You got it, you got it. Come on, there you go. Push, 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 push.
And Thornton gets it up as well. 2 men remaining in the competition. We're still at it.
And they're not breathing very hard, either one of them.
Huh? Not going any heavier?
He's got to go heavier. Is he corporate? Eric, you don't want to do it? Don't do it.
By going on, Dorsey could not improve the Giants' standing in the competition, and he has a bit of a sore shoulder. And so it's up to Jim Thornton at 455.
But Jim really doesn't have to do this either to win the points for the Bears, does
That's true. The Bears have already won the strength competition. He's doing it for his own pride.
RoboCop.
Don't call yourself a strong.
If he gets this Kim do her interview.
Let's get the big lift, Robo. Hit your bounce. There you go. Come on, Robo.
Jim Thornton good at 455.
That was 455 pounds. How do you feel?
We could go some more. I think we actually should, but Eric, his shoulder's hurting him, so we dropped low. But that's good enough to win, so I'll take it.
Okay, we just means you and Eric, not just you and left side and right side, right?
No, yeah, Eric and I.
Thank you.
And so the Bears win the strength competition. The Rams came in second thanks to Irv Pankey. The Dolphins Eagles tied for third. After 5 events, the Chicago Bears have retaken the lead over the Dolphins. The Eagles are third, followed by the Rams and Giants.
Now it's time to show off the muscles they've been working on. I'm not sure where Don McPherson got his, though. Go, Don, go.
Big holster.
We move from poolside to the basketball court and the slam dunk competition. Chris Carter of the Philadelphia Eagles will give it a shot. Neil Anderson of the Chicago Bears thinks he can dunk. And so does Jim Thornton of the Bears. Our fourth and final competitor will be Seth Joyner, the linebacker from the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this isn't part of the overall competition, just like the pose down.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun, and the winner will get a big screen TV. Seth Joyner first. And a nice dunk by the linebacker from Philadelphia. He's his own biggest fan. He kind of gives this a double pump. And bends the rim about half a foot down. He does everything like he's mad at something. He's mad at the rim on that.
He's very aggressive.
Neil Anderson of the Bears showing some good leaping ability. That was good for 51 points. Joyner's jam, by the way, was good for 50. Here's Anderson once again. Straightforward, but the crowd liked it.
And he had a lot of height on that.
Yeah, he got well over the rim. Chris Carter's up next. He had a brother Butch who played in the NBA for quite some time. A nice jam by Carter, one-handed.
Looks like Butch taught him something.
I think so. Carter's jam good for a total of 56 points. The dexterity required for that dunk is incredible. Has to grab it with the right hand, one-handed, over the top to put it in. Now Jim Thornton of the Chicago Bears.
Uh-oh.
I think he should have stayed by the pool. It was a good attempt, though. A nice try. Good ingenuity. He just didn't execute. He gets the miss on that one, but here he comes for a more straightforward jam. We'll call it a side saddle.
You call it what you want.
And the judges give him 43 points. Competition is best 2 out of 3. Here is Joyner in his second jam. And he has a miss, trying to come from the left side.
Look at that face.
I told you, he looks mad at the rim. Neil Anderson scored 51 in his first jam, and a nice dunk. The reverse, and Anderson gets 57 points.
He looks like he just scored a touchdown.
He's scoring some points with the judges for his next jump, I think. You can tell he has great leaping ability because he had to get up in the air to reverse himself.
Right.
Now Chris Carter again.
He forgot to dribble.
Well, he misfired. It's all right. You don't have to dribble in this slam dunk. You just have to put it in the hoop.
Uh-huh.
From the left side.
That was nice.
Chris Carter.
He lost his hat.
That's all right. He gets the points. The judges loved it. They gave him 53. On his first one, they gave him 56.
Ooh, he lost his hat because he hit himself in the face.
Square in the jaw. Here comes Anderson again. He needs a good score, and he'll get it.
Yeah, that looks nice.
He'll get it. He's saying he did it from the foul line. The jump began with the foul line. We'll take a look at it in replay and see if he's telling the truth. The judges believe him. They gave him a perfect score of 60 points, but hey, that's the bottom of the circle, Neil, not the foul line.
It was the dance.
The heel was on the free throw line.
Yeah, the wrong heel, though, Neil. The wrong one. Even with a perfect score, Chris Carter could not overtake Neil Anderson. Anderson is our winner, but this one's just for fun. And a lot of fun it was. His total for the jump, 58.5 points. But once again, our winner, Neil Anderson of the Chicago Bears. He'll take home a big screen television set.
But let's take a look again at how he handles that ball. It's incredible.
That rim started out at 10 feet, but as the competition continued, as the two of you worked on the dunks, it's now at about 9.5, I think. I think this one came down as to who needed the television more, and you wound up with it.
Yeah, I told Chris I had 6 kids, 2 wives, and we only had 1 TV in the house, so I needed it. And we decided if we bend the rim down on your first couple of dunks, then you can do a serious one on your last dunk.
Some of the other Eagles think that you were holding back, Chris, that you were holding the best for last, but it just never came through.
Oh, yeah, in the competition with 3 dunks. The one woman judge got me, gave me an 8. Man, that's what killed me.
You were trying to intimidate her.
She gave, and she's from Philly, and she gave me an 8. I'm going to put a bounty out on her.
Get a buddy to help you. She didn't know anything. She didn't know anything about style.
Is this the lady?
Yeah, this is her. Come on in here, honey. Let me get you some TV.
Why'd you give him an 8?
Why?
I invited her over
because
to watch TV with me.
he was there with the technical mastery, but his creativity needs some work.
Tough to argue with that. I agree with her. You know,
been 10 foot high.
the one that really worked, though, is that you took off from the foul line. Although you know, some of the other guys think that you took off from about 2 feet away.
I had my heel on the foul line. I watched the NBA slam dunk competition. I saw Jordan do that one, so I figured if he can do it, you know, I can do it.
Once again, the replay doesn't lie. Anderson took off somewhere between the foul line and the basket.
Away from the competition, the players had a chance to take advantage of the facilities here at Jamaica, Jamaica. This group decided to take scuba lessons so they could explore the coastal waters of Jamaica.
They'll be scared of their own shadows down there. Jumbo's scared of fish. Eric's scared of Jumbo. And Steve just doesn't know what he's doing anyway. They're lost.
After training in the pool, our boys were ready to venture into the deep blue sea.
Said there was some big fish out there, including you.
The only big fish out there was Jumbo the Whale Elliott, and he got in my way so many times I couldn't see half the ocean. He blocked out the sun, the sea, and half the ground. But Jacques and Philippe, we're now brothers of the sea. Thank you, man versus nature.
Back to the beach for the volleyball competition. Getting there was a problem for some, but not for Neil Anderson.
I know, man. I just doing my little last little.
It's nearly time to crown our best of the beach champions. Tug of war coming up in a little while. Remember, just our final 2 teams will advance to that event. But first, volleyball, the finals between the Giants and the Dolphins. At least I think we've been watching volleyball.
That's right. It has been volleyball, right? They're using a volleyball, but these guys are using a lot of their techniques from football and sort of just using the brute strength to get the ball over the net.
Let's take a look at some of the preliminary action where the Giants and Dolphins advance to the finals. This preliminary game matched the Rams and Giants, with the Giants playing a man short. That's because Captain Mark Ingram was a little bit under the weather.
It's hard to imagine anyone being under the weather. It's so beautiful here.
And a nice shot by Kevin Green.
No cup dumps anymore. Let's go. 22.
Big Irv Pankey, but this is Giants. Match point.
I got it.
And that's out. And that means the Giants win by 2, 24-22 to advance. The underdog team. In the first semifinal, the Dolphins and Eagles renewed their rivalry, but it was the Dolphins in control most of the way.
There you go. Yeah, that's hit.
That slam by Chris Carter was out of bounds. And the Dolphins went on to a win. The final 21-13. The Dolphins advanced to the finals. The Giants took the court again with their 3-man team, this time against the Chicago Bears. And with the Bears running into each other, the Giants advance with a 2-point win. They're on to the finals.
I hope Mark Ingram appreciates their effort.
That feels so bad.
Hey, that's the Big Bad Band.
Woo! How could you guys lose?
Hell of a time, guys.
Let's see, Tom. Tom, what did you ask me after our loss?
God. How could you lose to the Giants with just 3 guys? I'm saving myself for the tug of war.
Tug of war.
The amazing New York Giant 3-man volleyball team. Steve, you're kind of the leader back here. It must take a lot of teamwork.
Well, I tell you what, it doesn't really take a whole lot of teamwork when you got the twin towers of Eric Dorsey and John Jumbo Elliott. I mean, there's not a thing that can get past that net that's 1.5 to 2 feet over. They've got such incredible leaping ability and just great wingspan. And I tell you what, I'm just there to pick up the scraps. These guys win the games for us.
That's the best PR I've heard in a long time, Eric, for you.
Well, I kind of agree to what Steve said, but for the most part, I think we're doing this for our captain, Mark Ingram. He couldn't be with us today. He's laid up in bed right now with an upset stomach. But we're gonna do the best we can to take home the victory, and just for him, we're doing this for Mark Ingram.
Doing it for Mark Ingram, and over here, the big man on the other side of the line, John Jumbo Elliott. What's been going on up there? You're keeping all the pressure off of Steve in the back.
Yeah, I think we've been catching teams by surprise. I see 3 of us, and I think they relaxed a little bit, and then we're able to get up on them.
Well, some have called it the best 3-man team since a group called Mo, Larry, and Curly. What do you think?
I don't know if we're up that high, but...
All right, good luck, guys. And so we move on to the volleyball final between the Dolphins and the Giants. This one basically just for fun. The Dolphins have already advanced to the tug of war against the Chicago Bears.
Hit it, Doris. Over, baby. Nice one. I got it. There you go. There you go.
Point to the surprising New York Giants in that 3-man team.
They are surprising, and they have won over the hearts of the crowd here. Everyone seems to be rooting for them.
That's another one. Get it, get it, get it, get it.
1-1, Giants.
And they do it with such good humor, especially Steve Diassi.
They're good sports. He's covering a lot of sand back there.
He moves real well for a big man.
Baby Jumbo!
And the spike
by Jumbo.
Hey, we got a weak flick in the back. Oh, there we go.
3-1, Giants.
3-1, New York. Everybody seems to have enjoyed themselves here at Jamaica, Jamaica. We want to thank the nice people at Apple Vacations who arranged for all of our transportation. Apple Vacations, the official vacation company of Best of the Beach.
Kevin Green from the Rams is finished, so he's enjoying himself with his fiancée. Let's go to Steve Baskerville, who found one of the natural wonders of Jamaica.
You know, when tourists visit New York City, they might want to take a trip to the top of the Empire State Building. Or if you go to Los Angeles, you want to walk down Rodeo Drive. But if you come here to Ocho Rios in Jamaica, you want to go all the way up Dunn's River Falls. You see, this is only the beginning. It's 600 feet to the top. All right.
The cascading water and lush vegetation provide a beautiful setting at this unique site. The thrill, however, is to climb all the way up the falls, and many of the players and their guests accepted the challenge, aided by guides who know every slippery rock, as well as some of the more playful spots. For the Rams' Irv Pankey, there was an adventure of a different sort.
You see this giant shrimp? They have giant shrimp out there. What'd you say? Giant shrimp. Giant shrimp. What about it? You gotta pull one out to me this long. Sure to God. See that? All right, come on. I'll show you. Come on. You saw that shrimp, didn't you? Huh? Did you see that big shrimp the guy had up here? The big what? Oh, you weren't even up here. Come on. Big what? Shrimp. Shrimp. They got giant shrimps in there. Shrimp. Giant shrimp.
That's not a shrimp.
Yes, it is. They pulled it. The guy pulled it out from under a rock.
Shrimp don't have no claws, man.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's big.
Somebody go get some tartar sauce.
Dunn's River Falls, a beautiful spot on the island of Jamaica. We return to the volleyball final with the Giants leading the Dolphins by a score of 11-10.
Giants serve.
The crowd now really behind the Giants. The surprising 3-man squad.
12-11, Giants serve.
This will be the last bit of competition for the Giants. The Dolphins, of course, have the tug of war coming up for the championship against the Bears. And the missed timing of the jump by Mark Clayton results in another point for the Giants. They're up 13-11.
The Giants keep getting better and better.
They've got a lot of practice.
I got it.
Jumbo Elliott. And the Giants unable to hang on, now tied at 13 apiece. Meanwhile, Chris Carter's done for competition for the day. He's enjoying himself.
Taking people here. Nobody to be saved though, except for the Giants. Like whales out of water, aren't they?
Jerome. Maybe Jim Thornton will have someone to save after all.
We return to the volleyball final. We're all knotted up at 19 apiece. Now the Dolphins take a 1-point lead, 20-19. Game point for Miami.
Switch sides, switch serve. Game point.
The team switch sides after 5 points have been played out. And is it good? If it is, the game will continue on. If not, it's ruled in favor of the Dolphins. They will be our volleyball champions.
He hit it out. Point. Game to Dolphins.
That means the Dolphins win the volleyball championship.
But the Giants did a great job.
Oh, they did. The three-man team of the New York Giants have a lot to be proud about. Looks like Neil Anderson lost his mode of transportation.
He sure did.
The Dolphins pick up 50 points for the win of the volleyball competition. The overall standings after 6 events, it's the Dolphins and Bears for all the marbles in the tug of war.
Well, Jim, you have won the volleyball competition. How do you feel, and are you ready for the tug of war?
First of all, I feel tired. Second of all, we're going to give it all we got for the tug of war. We've already had our strategy meeting on the tug of war because we knew we were in it already. And we were rooting for the Giants, actually, to win this volleyball.
When the sun goes down, the fun continues here at Jamaica, Jamaica, the official resort of Best of the Beach, one of the super clubs. Our boys were at it again, trying to win the pirate competition. Don McPherson, Seth Joyner, Chris Carter. But Mike Tomczak was the winner, and he gets a hug.
The tension begins to mount. All of a sudden, everybody's very serious. We're ready for the tug of war to determine our champion. Will it be the Miami Dolphins, or will it be the Chicago Bears? I'm ankle deep in this water to make a point. The winner of this competition, the tug of war between the Miami Dolphins and Chicago Bears, will wind up in the money. The loser may very well end up in this water. It's winner take all between our top 2 rated teams. Kim is standing by with the top rated Miami Dolphins.
Have you ever done one of these before?
No, not really. But I'm looking forward to it. Shouldn't be, no problem. It's only the Bears.
Okay. What's your strategy?
Well, we want to pull those little guys in real quick, right from the start. So we got our beef up front, our beef in the back, and our little spice ham in the middle.
Okay, Spice Ham, how do you feel?
I feel like a winner. I feel like pulling somebody in the water.
Okay, and you're the captain. Have you organized the positions of everybody?
Yeah, we decided to put the beef in the front and the beef in the back and the little guy in the middle, just like Louis said.
All righty. And how about you? Have you ever done one of these before?
Not this seriously, so we're just going to pull hard today.
Steve Baskerville has the rest of the story. He's with the Bears.
Sean, I can tell you're serious. Hold those hands up. You got some honest-to-goodness work gloves on, man.
It wasn't my choice. I think they ran out of the other gloves, and they picked me. You know, it was a setup. First, they gave me these gloves, and they said, well, since you got those rawhide gloves on, you got to be up front,
Ready for some serious business.
I got these war stripes on.
Good luck, man.
For a reason.
All right. Look, what is it? Is it strategy or strength? What is it, Mike?
I think it's a combination of both. We had the strength and the finesse. I think we're going to do it. I'm a little nervous.
Are you really?
Yeah, I've never pulled before, but
from the coach back there in the back. He's going to hold us down and give us some commands.
I'm going to get to Tom in a minute. But, Neil, you proved you've been in good shape all the other events, man. How do you feel about this one?
I feel good. I think it's going to be a pretty good match. It's two evenly matched teams, but we're ready for it. So we're going to give it a heck of a shot.
I see Jim Thornton over here making his mark, man. I don't want to mess things up because you're getting your groove right here in the ground.
This is really a sandcastle. You stepped on it and ruined it, actually. So.
All right, how you feeling?
Good. Feeling real good. This is a big event here.
Nobody seems to be nervous about this, Tom. It's up to you anchoring this whole thing. Are you nervous about this?
I'm nervous. I haven't did anything all week, so if I don't pull my weight here, I don't think they're going to can me for next year.
Well, good luck, man.
Thanks.
Let's do it.
Aloha.
The rules are simple. There's a little ribbon right in the middle of the two teams. The object is to pull that ribbon across your side of the pit.
This way. Bring a little bit this way. Let's go, fellas. Set. Pull.
Big move by the Dolphins there.
Miami's dug in with their feet, and it doesn't look like they're going to give up any ground. And it's over. The Miami Dolphins are the best of the beach.
Golly.
How hard was that?
Oh, that was real hard. That was worse than minicamp.
They're pulling good. They had it all together. They outweighed us a little bit. Couldn't get it going our way.
Okay, I'm here with a bunch of heavy breathers, and they have just won the best of the beach, and I want to know how you guys feel.
Feel pretty good. A little tired and winded, but we feel great.
Well, we knew we had them, the minute we got here in Jamaica, we knew it was ours. We just had to go out and do it.
Okay, you were the end. You were the end guy. How did it feel?
It felt good. I felt good back there. Jim was giving me a lot of help, and we just got a rhythm going. We started moving it right from the start. We felt good. Got a big anchor.
All righty, how about you?
I say Louis Oliver, MVP, all the way. Go Louis, MVP. Scooter, Louis Scooter.
He wants it all. But just pay me my money, though.
Okay, congratulations, you guys. You did a great job. You're the best of the beach.
All right.
Congratulations to the Miami Dolphins. The players have selected their MVP. It's Neil Anderson of the Bears. Kim, it seems appropriate that the Miami Dolphins would win the Best of the Beach championship. The fish did real well right next to the water.
Right, and we've been watching them sweat, and it's been very hot out here. And now that it's all done, don't you think we deserve a break?
Yeah, we should enjoy Jamaica a little bit.
That's right.
Good idea. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Is this thing on? Look, you guys see this? Look. Only cost $20,000.
Billy, we'd like to thank you for coming by for the competition, Best of the Beaches, and wish you good luck in the 1992 Olympics.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, do that again, just relax. Just nice and easy.
Okay. Hey, what is this, the third take? I don't like doing over 2 takes now. What are you saying?
This is the second take.
You're not a football player, you're a kicker. That's right, and I paid accordingly. Isn't it sickening? Butler makes more than I do. Oh, that's Kicker a on lie. our team. He does. That's a lie. He does. How much you make a year? How much do I make? The cameras are I on. make How much? $350 an hour. 350. What? 350 grand. 350 a kick. Yeah, that's about it. I made 3 kicks last year, so what's that? Basic math says that you hit 150-yarder every 4 years, and they keep you.